My name is Beth Pineles, and I'm an assistant professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Pennsylvania Perelman School of Medicine. Every year in the United States, thousands of people experience serious complications during childbirth. The birth certificate is the only free and publicly available national data source for tracking those complications. But what if it's missing a lot of cases? And what if it's missing more cases for some groups than for others? That's what our study looked at, and it's published in the May 2026 issue of Epidemiology. Let me give you a little background. The complications we focused on are called severe maternal morbidity. Things like blood transfusion, emergency hysterectomy, intensive care unit or ICU admission, uterine rupture, and severe tearing during delivery. To study this, we compared how often these were recorded in two national data sets from 2019. Birth certificate data covering about 3.5 million births, and a large hospital billing database that we adjusted to reflect the national population. We compared rates overall and by the patient's race and ethnicity. So what did we find? For all 5 complications, birth certificates recorded lower rates than the billing data. But the key finding is that the gap was not the same for everyone. Take blood transfusion. The rate recorded on birth certificates was about half the rate in the billing data for non-Hispanic white patients. But for non-Hispanic Black and Hispanic patients, the birth certificate rate was an even smaller fraction of the billing rate, roughly 1/3 or less. What we found is that this has real consequences. If you use birth certificate data to ask the question, are Black and Hispanic patients experiencing more complications, you get a much smaller answer than if you use the billing data. In our study, the birth certificate made the gap between groups look much smaller than it actually may be. We also found that at hospitals and counties serving a higher proportion of Black and Hispanic patients, the gap between the two data sources was even wider, suggesting that where a patient delivers may play a role in how these events get recorded. Now, no study is perfect, and there are a couple of things to keep in mind. We could not match individual patients across data sets, so we cannot say exactly which cases may have been missed. And while the billing data is widely used in research and its rates are consistent with published studies, it can occasionally contain coding errors. So it is a strong comparator, but not a gold standard. So, stepping back, what does this all mean? Because birth certificate is free and public, it is the go-to data source for tracking maternal complications. Proprietary hospital data, like what we used, are expensive and harder to access. So if birth certificates are capturing a smaller share of these events for Black and Hispanic patients, the studies and policies built on those data may be working from an incomplete picture. We hope this work encourages efforts to improve how birth certificate information is collected. Thank you for watching.